Hi, I'm about to initiate an extreme form of shadow work. So, what is shadow work? Anything that exists in us, if we repress, and it manifests in quite ugly ways. So that is shadow work. अब म नेपालीमै switch गरेँ. So, well, I think I should try to keep it in English because it might be of help to anyone, and let's not limit to one language. So the first thing was envy. Am I envious? It was a trait in me that I could never accept, at least when I was quite young. But actually, in fact, I was. And when I was not acknowledging my envy, I was envious of successful, wealthier people as a kid growing up. But I could not admit to it. And I was always resentful of such people. But with time, with maturity, I had the honesty to come to the admission that I might have been envious to some degree. And slowly that dissipated. And the new narrative was, I might be envious, but the envy doesn't necessarily control me. Then another difficult one was being called a coward. I could not accept the fact that I was a coward, but perhaps there was an element of cowardice in me. So with time, what happened was, when I was trying so hard to not be a coward, I was putting myself in dangerous situations, overcommitting, trying to be more brave than I actually was. But with maturity again, after I could admit to my cowardice, I could integrate that and then form healthy boundaries. So you see the dynamic of shadow work. You really have to see things that you repress in yourself so that you can integrate it and then you can become more whole. Then was the other one, corrupt. This one was difficult too. But I had inclination to corruption. There have been moments where I've been dishonest. But this was not a difficult one because I don't think my degree of corruption was that bad. But then again, I can admit to the fact that there have been times when I have not been at my best. But then again, after admitting to it, then I think I'm in a better moral place. What's the other one? So we've talked about envy, which was difficult. Arrogance. Yes, that's another big one. Trying to avoid or trying to dismiss moments when I felt proud. This was quite a difficult one as well. I could not admit to the fact that I have ever been proud or arrogant. But the fact is I have. And only after I admitted to these qualities did such traits transmute into healthy self-boundaries. So those are the big ones. But there is another one which I am working on. So I've made a lot of progress regarding these behavioral dysfunctions. So shadow work is something derived by Carl Jung. For reference. There's a lot of material out on the internet. It's basically admitting to your most repressed, most hidden selves. There is so much inside of us that we don't admit to. Actually, it's a moment of clarity and honesty, and so that's what shadow work is. Now, there's a nice Nepali word called kichkiche and urunche. You see, this is another big one for me. I really, really don't like when people bicker about small things, and especially if when you're playing a sport and then people just like force they just lose their sportsmanship. That's something that I absolutely abhorred. That's something that I really, really didn't like. And when trying to be as square as I possibly can, I did try to repress that element of resistance inside of me that wanted to sometimes not be honest in terms of claiming that foul or like faking a penalty or something like that. The English equivalent is of being a diver, you see, being an unfair diver. So here goes, the admission is there might be a little bit of a diver in me that I have really repressed. Especially, I couldn't even say this word. To admit, mama ke runche cha ki, mama ke kitkiche cha ki. Although I try to avoid it as much as I can in real life, and when people play that part, it really, really, really annoys me. So I always say to myself, at least I'm not as low as that guy. At least I don't, bicker and whine and whinge and can't, take a fact. I mean, I really found it extremely, extremely emasculating when people could not take in the fact. So that's it, and I think that's a healthy admission out there. We can't repress what exists in us, and when we try to repress it too much, then we try to project it in the outer world and then be hard on other people. But after you admit to it, perhaps we can take a loss better, or know where our moral line stands, and turn our dark traits into healthy boundaries. I hope you understand by the shadow work that I'm trying to talk about, and I think this might have been of some help to you. And as usual, if you'd like me to elaborate on any concepts further, I'd be happy to do so. Have a great day.